My name is V, and I am a Kaibyo, otherwise called a phantom cat. I grew up near a small human village, but hadn't met many of my own kind, and thus had to manage surviving on my own. Sometimes I snuck into the village to steal food or find shelter from storms, but the people there treated me like a monster. They saw my purple glowing eyes in the night street and thought I must be an evil spirit, chasing me away and occasionally attacking and hunting me. I never had any ill intent. I was just trying to survive and to coexist with them. One evening, I went into the village as I hadn't eaten in days, searching for leftover food in the trash and other places. As I was walking down a small street, a couple of people noticed me and started throwing stones at me to get me to leave. One of them managed to hit me in the head, and I felt as my body was being flung into an alley and my consciousness faded out. When I woke up a while later, I was in somebody's house. I realized my paw was bandaged and my other wounds were taken care of. I was suspicious at first, but when I looked up, I saw a young man sitting across the room from me. He was just sitting there with a gentle smile on his face, offering me food to replenish my strength. Over the next few weeks, as my paw was healing, the man took care of me, giving me food, water, shelter, and most importantly, keeping me safe and hidden from the people outside. He told me that his name was Vin, and that he was a young guardsman in the town, and as time went by, despite me being a spirit, and him being a human, we developed a deep bond of trust. For the first time in my life, I felt safe. Things were mostly calm, until one day, there was a knock on the door. Vin opened it as I hid in the next room. The door slid open to reveal a large, angry man. He was the landlord, yelling as he wanted some money he was owed, but in the middle of his rant, his eyes drifted across the room and he must have noticed me. His glance went wide and he went quiet, slowly walking backwards before running away. Vin realized what must have happened and tried to stop him, but it was too late. Only a few moments went by before we could hear an uproar in the village. Vin told me to run from this place and to hide before they would find me. Without hesitation, I followed his word and escaped, seeing torches light up the dark streets and hearing the stomping of many, many feet as the village people gathered and came for me. I hid in the dark for hours, hoping nobody would find me as I heard people patrolling the streets, out to banish the monster in their midst once and for all. When the commotion finally calmed down and the villagers felt I had escaped, I carefully made my way back home to make sure Vin was okay. But when I had taken a look through the open window, the room was dark. It took my eyes a moment to realize the body laying on the ground, motionless and unbreathing. I approached slowly, but I could see the clothing drenched in a deep red, feeling the already cold, thick blood spilled on the floor underneath. My mind couldn't keep up with what I was seeing, realizing they had murdered him for helping me. In that moment, I felt something inside me shatter. A rage was surging inside me that I've never known before. My body started to change and my mind went numb, fueled by a blind hatred for those who had taken my only friend from me. My mind went fully blank as my body went on a rampage. They had created the monster they always feared I was. Like a dark blur, I dashed through the streets, clawing and ripping apart anybody I could find, filling the streets with rivers of red. Screams were filling the air, but as I went on, the voices were silenced, one by one by one, until none were left. When I finally woke up from the hazy mist of rage that was blinding me, I found myself outside of Vin's house, my claws and fangs dripping with the blood of those who had wronged me. I slowly walked into the house and kneeled over the body. I carefully wrapped it into a fine cotton cloth that was nearby and carried the body outside. I wanted to give him a burial away from this awful place, so I carried him outside the village and up a hill, near a shrine I sometimes used to hide in. When I got there, I saw a small cherry tree sapling and felt it was the perfect place. I dug a grave with my hands and gently laid the body into it before filling it up again with the cold sand. As I was finishing the grave, I felt a warmth coming from underneath and saw a soft mist rising up from the ground. The tree's sapling glowed gently in an otherworldly tone. It was Vin's soul leaving for the afterlife. I held onto it for a short moment, feeling his kindness one last time, but I knew I had to let him move on. I watched as he rose up into the night sky before slowly fading out of this world and into the next. In this moment, I made it my duty to try and be there for those souls like him, the kind ones stuck in an otherwise cruel world and trapped by that darkness surrounding them. Hello and welcome to my debut. Yeah. Hi. No audio. What do you mean no audio? Don't say that. No. No. Why? Why do we have no audio? Fuck. No. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Does this work? Fuck. Why does everything break?